What if you don't actually have to believe that you can make $100,000? You don't have to wake up every morning feeling rich. You don't have to look at your bank account and somehow convince yourself that you already have the money. And you definitely don't have to spend the entire day trying to stay in some perfect high vibration. Because sometimes, the harder we try to believe something that feels completely different from our current reality, the more resistance we create. You say, "I have $100,000, and another part of your mind immediately says, "No, you don't." Then you try again, "I'm wealthy," and your mind says, "Have you seen your bank account?" Now you're not feeling abundant, you're arguing with yourself. So maybe the answer isn't to force yourself to believe harder. Maybe there's another way. And although I'm using $100,000 as an example, this applies to almost anything you want to create. More money, a business, a new career, a relationship, a successful YouTube channel, or simply a different life. Because maybe the problem isn't that you don't believe enough. Maybe you're trying too hard to believe. When people learn about manifestation, they often hear, "Feel as if it already happened, believe it's already yours, become a match for what you want." And there can be something useful in those ideas. But sometimes, we turn manifestation into another job. Now we're checking ourselves all day. Am I feeling abundant? Was that a negative thought? Did I ruin my manifestation? Do I believe enough? And something that was supposed to help us feel better starts creating more pressure. So here's a simpler way to look at it. You don't need perfect belief. You just need enough openness to stop constantly telling yourself that what you want is impossible. That's a big difference. Imagine you want $100,000, but right now your financial situation is nowhere close to that. Saying, "I already have $100,000, might feel completely false. But what about, "I don't know everything that could happen over the next few years"? Or, "There may be opportunities I can't see yet." Or simply, "I don't have to know exactly how this will happen today." Those thoughts are easier to accept. You're not pretending. You're just leaving the door open. And sometimes, that's enough to start changing the direction of your thinking. Another thing I think we misunderstand is the idea that we need to feel good all the time. Your emotions are going to change. One day you'll feel confident. Another day you might feel tired, worried, or uncertain. That doesn't mean you've destroyed your future. You can have a bad day and still be moving in the right direction. You can feel nervous and still start the business. You can feel afraid and still take an important step. You don't have to become emotionally perfect before your life can improve. What matters more is the direction you keep returning to. So instead of asking, "How do I make myself believe I already have $100,000? Ask, "Who would I need to become to create, receive, manage, and keep that kind of money?" That question changes everything. Maybe that version of you sees opportunities differently. Maybe they learn skills instead of immediately saying, "I can't do that." Maybe they create more and consume less. Maybe they become more consistent. Maybe they stop spending money just to impress people. Maybe they learn how business works. Maybe they become more comfortable asking for what their work is worth. Maybe they finally take action on an idea they've been thinking about for years. Now manifestation becomes practical. You're not pretending to have the money. You're becoming someone more capable of recognizing and handling new opportunities. And this is where your internal story becomes important. You may want more money while constantly telling yourself, "Money is always difficult for me." You may want success while repeating, "Nothing I do ever works." You may want opportunities while automatically thinking, "That kind of thing doesn't happen to people like me." Those thoughts don't magically control the universe, but they can influence what you notice, what you attempt, what you avoid, and how quickly you give up. So instead of forcing yourself to say, "I already have $100,000, try thoughts you can actually believe. I'm becoming better at creating value. I'm learning to recognize opportunities. I can improve the way I handle money. There may be ways to earn more that I haven't considered yet. I'm capable of creating a different financial future." You don't need a huge emotional reaction. You're simply moving your mind away from impossible and toward maybe. That little shift matters. Then there's another important part. Stop checking all the time. You decide you want something. Then you keep asking, "Where is it? Why hasn't it happened? Am I doing this correctly? Maybe I need another technique." So you visualize more. Repeat more affirmations. Look for more signs. Check again. And eventually, almost all your attention is focused on the fact that it hasn't happened yet. Sometimes you have to give your desire some room. Do what you can do. Take the actions that make sense, then go live your life. And no, this doesn't mean doing nothing and waiting for $100,000 to fall from the sky. There's a difference between forcing and taking useful action. Forced action sounds like, I have to make something happen right now, or everything is going wrong. Clear action sounds more like, this makes sense. I'm going to try it. Maybe you get an idea for a business. Explore it. Maybe you need to learn something. Learn it. Maybe you know you should contact someone. Contact them. Maybe there's something important you've been avoiding. Handle it. You don't need the whole path. You just need the next useful step. And stop treating $100,000 like some magical number. Break it down. It could come through one big opportunities, several smaller opportunities, a business, a side income, a career change, investments, something you create, or a combination of things. Instead of asking, how am I ever going to get $100,000? Try asking, what could I create or contribute that becomes valuable over time? Now your brain has something useful to work with. You've moved from staring at a number to looking for possibilities. And remember, your current circumstances are not necessarily your permanent identity. You can look at your situation and say, this is where I am today, without adding, and this is where I'll always be. Your bank account tells you where you are right now. Your job tells you what you're doing right now. Your number of customers tells you where something stands right now. That information matters, but it doesn't automatically tell you what can happen next. So here's a simple experiment. Choose one thing you really want. Maybe it's $100,000. Maybe it's getting out of debt. Maybe it's replacing your income. Maybe it's building a business or creating something meaningful. Then instead of forcing yourself to believe it's already done, say, I'm open to the possibility that this can happen in ways I can't see yet. And ask, what would the version of me who eventually creates this start doing differently today? Not 10 things, just one. Maybe you finally start. Maybe you become more consistent. Maybe you learn something. Maybe you stop quitting whenever results are slow. Maybe you stop waiting until you feel completely confident. Take that step, and then keep living your life. You don't have to constantly check whether your manifestation is working. Maybe manifestation isn't about pretending hard enough. Maybe it's about becoming less attached to the story that says your desire can't happen. You don't need perfect belief. You don't need perfect emotions. You don't have to know exactly how everything will happen. You need enough openness to allow another possibility. And when the next clear step appears, you take it. So whatever your version of $100,000 is, stop fighting with yourself trying to believe it's already here. Instead, remind yourself, maybe my current reality isn't the end of the story. Sometimes that's enough to begin moving in a completely different direction. If this video helped you look at manifestation differently, subscribe to the Mind Upgrade. And in the comments write, I don't need to know how yet. Let that remind you that you don't have to see the entire road before taking the next step. Until the next video, protect your attention, stay open to possibility, and keep upgrading your mind.